Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes, way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Yeah, hello everyone. Very good evening to everyone who are watching with me right now. So let us wait for a couple more minutes so that other audiences can join. And before that, let me introduce about our today live mock DSA. So this is a stream for live mock DSA in which we are having a candidate present today, and I will be interviewing him. The interview will be based upon tech-based interviews, which you will frequently find in these days in product-based companies. And if you are watching this with me right now and you are preparing for your upcoming interviews, you can try to fill up the form which is in the description, and we will schedule it next Saturday. And we are having this every Saturday at 10 p.m. So this will be very helpful to you all if you are preparing for your interviews, because mock interviews are kind of very extremely essential for your preparation. Okay, so we see we have around 6 people with me live right now. You can add, if you have any questions to ask, you can add in your comments. And meanwhile, when I will be interviewing with the candidate, you all can try to answer the approaches of the question in the comment section and try to keep the comment section interactive as well. Okay. Hello, Rishit. Hello, Naikaj. Welcome. So, Naikaj, I see that you very regularly attend all the live sessions of this channel. It would be really great if you could also sign up for our interviews. Okay, so you can check out the form in the description and fill that accordingly. Hello, Rishit. How are you? Okay, so today we have Mr. Gagandeep Sharma, and I will be interviewing him. I will very soon add him on the screen for his introduction and everything. And so, yeah, so let's start then. I see quite a lot of audiences have joined. Hello, Gagandeep. Welcome to Geeks for
Hello,
Geeks
sir.
practice. Yeah, so Gagandeep, how are you?
Great, sir. What about you?
Yeah, I am great too. So, Gagandeep, are you nervous for this interview?
A little nervous, but a lot more excited than I was, I believe.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so no need to be nervous. The other audiences who are present in this live stream are exactly are students like you only, and
Yes.
take it as a learning opportunity instead of being nervous. So, hello Anshul, hello. Yeah, so we have quite a lot of audiences right now, and you are being streamed over YouTube through our channel. So, yeah, so Gagandeep, do you have any questions before we start?
So
You
as
are
of
muted,
now, I don't
Gagandeep.
have.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So let me explain it to you the process what we will follow. I'll be sharing with you a doc link, and the entire interview will proceed through that. And you need to also share your screen. Okay. And I would request all the audiences present here to kindly keep the interaction going on. Okay. Gagandeep doesn't know what you all are chatting here, so he will be solving his own question. And meanwhile, you can try to solve those question writer approaches here. Okay. So that would also be great. Yeah. And in fact, before we begin the interview, let me tell you more about all other recent live streamings that are going on in this channel. We are having a interview separate practice sessions on every Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. We also have a dynamic programming session on Thursdays and Friday, and a mock interview session on Saturday. So, in case if you would like to have any other types of session that would be helpful for you all, you can comment your recommendations in the comment box, and we will make sure that those kind of contents are delivered to you. Okay, so you can do that too as well. So, let us begin with the interview then. So hello Gagandeep, introduce yourself.
so hello, sir, and hello everyone present in the live stream. I'm Gagandeep Sharma, currently a pre-final year student in PCT Institute of Engineering and Technology in Ludhiana, Punjab. As far as my education is concerned, I have cleared class 12th from JNV Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Longowal, in which I got 95%, and class 10th from SVM Dhuri, in which I got 93%. And as far as my graduation is concerned, of the or total my 5 semesters gone till now, I'm successful in managing my CGPA to be above 8, and I hope that continues. Now, coming to my coding profile, from the starting of the second year of my graduation, I have been active on multiple coding platforms, most of them being Geeks for Geeks, Coding Ninjas, and nowadays CodeChef too. At CodeChef, I have a maximum rating of 1360, which is a 3 star, and currently in Geeks for Geeks, I have sold around 150 questions and around 100 plus questions, around 100 questions on lead code. Now coming to some of my achievements, so I got All India rank 156 in Innovate India Coding Championship, which was organized by Coding Ninjas. It was a 3 round coding championship in which the finale was an on-site competition at Chandigarh University. And also, my another achievement is I am currently on a scholarship from my university because of my academic good performances in academics. Now I have done two internships till now. One is going and one has been completed. In one of the internship, I was a problem setter, we can say, because we were assigned tasks to create problems that were used by the companies to access other students. Now another this was to create problems, for the other internship that I'm currently doing is regarding solving problems in which questions posted by students or assignments, they need to be solved by us. And also, apart from this internship, I am also SME subject matter expert freelancer at Check India Private Limited, in which the task is same to solve the questions posted by the students.
Okay, Gagandeep, that's great to hear. So that was quite a nice introduction about yourself. So Gagandeep, you can share your screen with the doc file that you already have so that we can proceed with the interview.
Okay, so just tell me if it is visible and
Yes, yes, it is visible. I hope that our screen is entirely visible to all the audiences out there. Yeah. So just a minute, give me a minute. I am pasting the question for you on the doc. Just give me a minute. I'm getting the question ready.
okay.
So I have pasted the problem statement. You can have a look at it. I am also pasting a sample input and output for your clarification. So let me read that out for you. So you are given an array of size n that would contain both positive and negative integers. Your task is to compute the length of the largest subarray such that the sum is equal to 0. Okay. And I am also giving you a sample example as well for you to try run. And what you can do, try to increase the font size a little bit so that our audiences can have a look at it. I suppose the font size is good enough. In case if you all want it to be increased a bit, you can write that in the comment. I will convey it to Gagan. Yeah, I see. I think this is good enough. So, Gagan, you can
Okay.
start. Do you have any questions?
So like, what can be the maximum length of the array that we have?
Maximum length of the array is n, and n can be till 10 to the power 5.
10 to the power 5, which means, uh, okay, so I have understood the question. The question is regarding finding the maximum, finding the subarray with maximum length whose sum is 0. Now, as we are concerned with subarrays, one thing we can do is we can check for every subarray. Uh, for every subarray present there, we can calculate the sum, and we can compare it with the subarray with the sum 0 having maximum length which has been encountered till now, and we can update the length if in case the current subarray is of length higher than that. So now in this approach we'll be using two for loops, like the outer for loop for the starting element and the inner for loop to mark the ending of that subarray. So, and that between those two indices we will be having the subarray and we'll be calculating the sum. Now we can optimize it, like it can be of n square, but the current constraints don't allow us to use that, to use that n square approach. So we need a better approach, I guess.
So,
So
what
like,
will be the better approach?
yes, so like in this array, like I have, what we can do is we can see multiple subarrays with sum which is 0. Now let us assume that we have stored, like we have another array in which I have stored the prefix sum, like up to the element 8, this index of that array I have stored that what is the sum of elements of the array until 8, which is the prefix sum. So for example, if I'm making that array, the first element will be 15. Now after that, uh, I've got encountered -2, so I will add -2 to 15, which will be 13. Now another next element that I have encountered is 2. Now adding to the current sum, I get 15. So now I've seen that I have encountered 15 twice, which means that from the previous encounter of 15, previous the last time we found 15, and from the and now we have found 15, there will lie a subarray whose sum is 0, because that's why the sum has not changed. And
Okay.
to store and like for every new sum that I have encountered, like I have encountered 15 here, so I can store the index at which I have encountered 15. For example, I have stored 15 at index 0. I have encountered 15 at index 0 and 13 at index 1 and 15 again at index 2. Now I have encountered 15 at 0 and 2. So which means uh, there is a subarray of length 2, which is 2 minus 0, the difference between their indexes, that will be giving me a sum of 0. So by this way we can calculate the maximum sum. Now the question is regarding how to store the index and the sum. So we can see that it is in a form of key value pair, in which key is the sum and value can be uh, value is the index. So we can use a hash map in this case.
Can you explain to me that why you were talking about prefix sum and now you're talking about hash map? So, I did not get that. Can you explain it a bit properly?
So like let me make the complete, let us have a dry answer there. I'll guess that will be enough to understand. Like first of all, I
Sure.
have encountered 15. Now 15 I have encountered at index 0. Now after that, I am adding minus to that, I have got 13. I haven't got 13, so I'll at 13 I have got encountered it at index 1, so I'll add another key value pair to the hash map. Now again I am at element 2, adding it to the previous element, I get 15. Now because 15 has been encountered earlier too, which means that I have encountered the same prefix sum twice, which means that between these two elements there is a subarray who is not changing the overall sum, right? Which means that if it is not changing, it definitely means that the sum is zero. So which means that current my index is 2. I have encountered it earlier, the sum 15 at index 0. So the length of the subarray, which will be giving me a zero sum, will be 2 minus 0, which is 2. And we can see that in this case, which is 2, right? This subarray is giving me which is giving me a sum of 0. So now moving ahead, the answer that we have encountered till now can be right. Answer encountered till now is 2. Now moving to the next element, we have encountered minus 8. Now adding minus 8 to 15, I get 7. Now I haven't encountered 7 until now, so I'll add it to hash map where I have encountered 7 at the index 3. Now question is why I haven't updated the index of 15, right? 15 was earlier, it was at index 0, but again I have encountered 15 because we are concerned about the largest subarray. So if we update the value of 15, if I encounter the value 15 and I calculate the length, so it will be lesser than what can be the maximum length. So once we have encountered the first time we had encountered the prefix sum, we won't change it because only that will give us the length of the maximum subarray. Now after 7, now I'm at next index, which is uh, 4. I'm adding 1 which is to the 7, which is 8. I haven't encountered 8 till now, so I will update my hash map with a new key value pair. Now again I have encountered 7. So now 7 and 8, adding 7 to 8 give me 15, but 15 I have
So,
already encountered.
Gagan, tell me what is your value in the key value pair that you are storing?
So value is the index of the
Yeah, hello, Gagan.
uh, yes sir, am I audible?
Can you listen to me? Am I properly audible? Yes. So I'm asking that what exactly is the key value in the key value pair that you're trying to store? Is it the indexes?
Yes sir, index of the like if against 15, it will be the index of the first occurrence of 15 as a prefix sum.
First occurrence of 15. Okay, okay. You can
Yes.
continue.
Okay sir, now I have encountered 15, but I have seen that 15 has been encountered 1. Now it has been encountered at index 5. Previous my the last time the first time I encountered 15 was an index 0. So according to this formula, the new length should be 5, which is 5 minus 0, which is 5. Now let's check in the subarray if this is the case. Like in if we check this subarray, the sum of this subarray is 0. Like minus 2 plus 2 0, then 8 minus 8 is 0. So which means that we are going right. Now let's confirm it by traveling the whole subarray. So we have updated our answer, which is 5 now. Earlier it was 2, but now the length that we have got is 5, which is larger. So we will update it. Now adding 10 to the my prefix sum array, which is 25. Now I haven't encountered 25 until now. So let us update my key value, my hash map by 6. Now adding 23, which will make it 48, and we haven't encountered 48 till now. So let us update it. Now we have traversed and we have a length 5, so which I believe is the longest subarray with some as 0. So I think this approach
Yeah.
we can use.
Yeah, okay, Gagan. Can you please write a small function? Let's say that function is taking the input array, and just write your approach in the on this doc file itself. Then I would give you the
Okay.
problem link. You can submit there. So first,
Okay.
give me a function that is demonstrating your. No need to write public static. Just write a void function.
Okay. So
Okay. So you will be coding in Java or C++.
Java, sir.
Okay, you can.
Like in the function, I have been given an array. Now, initially my sum is 0, right? So this sum will help me will so let's not have a prefix array for this, because I think we can also manage it with a single variable. So this variable will hold the value of the prefix sum until now. Now let's have an hash map of, we have an integer versus integer hash map before, because we are storing a number against another number which is form of an integer, and because the array is full of integers, so we need not to worry about the floats and other things. Let us name it HP. Now let's traverse into the array. Now let us add the current value of the current index into our sum variable. Like we can do it sum plus equal to error of I.
I suppose, Gagan, there is a
Suppose
slight audio issue from your end, but you can go on with your approach. Gagan, there is a slight audio issue from your end. Your voice is breaking. Try to improve your connection. So, okay, so it may be due to certain connection issue, Gagan. We have lost Gagan. Let us wait for a couple more minutes for him to join. Yeah, till then, I would request all the audiences to kindly write the approach that they were thinking would be the answer to this question. And as I have already told that if you are preparing for your interviews and you would like to have your interview scheduled with any of the mentors at Geeks for Geeks, you can fill up the form in the description. And we are having this live session on every Saturday at 10 p.m. So yeah, we have 24 people live with me right now. So yeah, apart from that, is there any type of other type of content recommendation that you guys need and we would like to deliver? You can write your recommendations in the chat box itself. So I see that Gagan has joined our stream once again, and I will include him in the stream. Yeah, so Gagan, welcome. Is the connection all right now?
yes, so seems fine.
Okay, so, no worries. You can once again share your screen and continue with your solving.
So just tell me once the screen is visible.
Yes, let me just add it to the stream. Yes, Gagan. I hope our screen and our audio and video are properly audible to your audiences. Gagan, you can continue with your approach.
Yes. So I have a question, like, will there always exist an answer, or is there any case where there will be no survivor then zero, and I have to take care of that case too?
You can take care of that. Let's see. Uh, you can just assume that if there are no subarray with some zero, you can return -1 in that case, or you can return just zero, because let includes your approach in such a fashion that if it is not able to find a subarray, it
Okay,
will
so
automatically
like,
return zero. Okay, yeah. So it will handle that case automatically.
okay, so like I will initialize my length variable with integer dot max value, and I'll keep updating once I get subarrays with some zero. But in case at the end of my iteration of the array, if the value of it is still integer dot max value, I'll return -1. We can do this.
Okay, you can continue in this approach. Let's see what the compiler says after.
Yes, sir. Like once I have added the my current sum to current index sum to the my variable, let's check if it is already present in the hash map. See, if it is already present, which means that we have
Yeah.
encountered
Okay.
some.
Gagan, yeah, you can continue. Gagan, one
Yes,
of
sir.
our audiences is asking, what is the time complexity of your approach? Can you please tell?
So like we are also only traversing the array once, so it will be of n
Okay,
only.
you can continue. It was a question from our audience, so I just conveyed it to you.
Oh, definitely. Now, in case we already have a something that uh, we have already encountered the current sum earlier, which means that current subarray there is some subarray in which we have the sum as zero. So we will find its length. So let the current length equal to current index I minus hp dot get sum, which will return me the index of the last first occurrence of that prefix sum. Now, this if current length is larger than the okay, so I should be initializing it with min value because we are encountering with the maximum. So that was a mistake. So if it is larger than the length that I have already have, I'll update the length. But in case if in case we have never encountered the same key earlier, so what we will do is we will add this key to the hash map. Now how we will do it? We will do it in this way. So now after this, in case we haven't found the length, if length is still equal to integer dot min value, we can return -1, and in any other case we can return the length.
Okay, Gagan. So, are you sure that your approach is properly implemented?
Let me look at it. Let me have a look at it once again. We'll encounter.
I am pasting the link of the question on this very doc itself. If you think that your implementation is proper, you can go ahead and try to submit the question. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
you can
So
scroll up to the
one
beginning
thing
of.
that
Yes, yes, tell.
mm, we also need to, I guess, if like had this element been like 2, so this sum would have been 0, but
Yes.
I do not have a 0 in my hash map yet. So I think I should be adding it beforehand. So uh, before I get into traversing the array, I should be adding hp to put 0, and the index should be -1 because it is just before the starting. So I guess this will help.
Okay, let's see. You
So
have the
have
link
you
of this question right in the beginning. You can try to paste your approach on the IDE itself. You have it in the doc file it's only. In the beginning. Mm, yeah. Yes, yes.
So let's copy.
Gagan, I
So
would
just
request you to kindly increase the font a bit so that our audiences can also see the code on the screen. You can try to
sure,
zoom in the
will
place.
click. So this works.
Ah, yes, yes. Uh, I suppose this should work.
So let us try to compile it. So it is giving correct answer, and I don't think that any edge case has been left. So let us try to submit it.
Yeah, submit. Let's see then.
So I
I
think
suppose
it's
that is the edge case about when you are unable to find a array, I suppose.
yes.
In that case,
So
you
let's
should return
just
zero, I guess.
initialize. So let's initialize it with zero. If there is no length encountered, that
Yeah,
will automatically be remain zero.
yeah, because your answer can actually never be less than zero. So keeping zero is also a good way.
Yes, sir. That works.
Yeah, that's great, Gagandeep. So let us move to the next problem then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gagandeep, we have some words of appreciation from our audiences to you. You can have say a thank you to everyone out there.
So thank you everyone for the kind words. I'll see those words once I'm done with the interview.
Okay, so let's have a look at our next problem. Give me a minute. Let me put the question.
Okay, sir.
Give me just a minute. Let me select the question that would be. Yeah, okay. So I'm pasting the question. Yeah, so let's paste the question. So this question is, let's say you are given an array. So in fact, you are given two arrays. The first name of the first array is start, and the name of the second array is end. So both the arrays are basically giving you the start time and the end time of a particular meeting I. Now the question it is asking that what is the maximum number of meetings that can be accommodated in a meeting room when only one meeting can be held in the meeting room at a particular time. So this is the question. I've already pasted it in the doc. I suppose our audiences can also see the question. Yeah. Let me give you a more information. So just to be clear that the start time of one chosen meeting can't be equal to the end time of the other chosen meeting. So start and end are giving you the start and end time. So let me also give you a sample example that would help you to understand the problem statement. Yeah, so I would request our audience to also kindly write your own approaches in the chat box and keep the interaction going on. And you can write a few words of encouragement for Gagan for and helping him solve the question.
What can be the maximum length that we can have for these arrays?
Yeah, the maximum length will be again 10 to the power 5, just like our previous question. And the start and end time we can also be up to the value of 10 to the power 5. So tell me.
Okay, so uh, so one thing can be we can use, like we can try every possible combination. For example, if I am having at this, I'm currently at this meeting which is starting at 3 and ending at 4. What we can do is I can see all the combinations that are possible if I include this meeting or I do not include this meeting. So at every point, I have two options, either to include or either not to include. In this way, I
Are
can
you
try
sure
all
this
the possible
approach will work?
combinations.
Like I'm asking you that there is a meeting room, and let's say you take a particular meeting. The meeting starts and the meeting ends. Now, after that meeting ends, you can
Yes.
start another meeting. Okay, so the question is that what is the maximum number of meetings that you can schedule based on the start and end time? Okay, so the output of the example which I gave you, did I mention the output?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah. On the next page, the output is 4. So first, tell me how is the output coming as 4? Can you describe the combinations that will give us a resultant output as 4?
So like one possible can be if I include the meeting starting at 1, ending at 2, then starting at 3, ending at 4, starting at 5, ending at 7, and starting at index 8 and ending 9. Because all the others, all the other meetings left which are 0 to 6 and 5 to 9, they are overlapping with any of these arrays. So I guess 4 is the maximum answer.
Okay, yes, this is correct. So how do you think should be the approach in this case?
So I guess one thing that we need to do is let's sort the arrays, sort both of these meetings with respect to start time, because uh, that will be easier for us to like check if it is good to include this meeting or not. Like after sorting these arrays, once let us see what happens if I sort these arrays. It will be
You are trying to sort
is
which array? Hello, Gagan. I think there is a bit of communication issue on Gagan's end. Yeah. Meanwhile, I would request the audience to write their approaches. I see Utkarsh is writing his approach. I see Naikaj is writing his approach. You all can discuss among yourself. And let Gagan, can you hear me? I think that there is a small connection issue on Gagan's end. Let us wait for a couple of minutes for him to join. Yeah. And meanwhile, I would request in the audience to kindly write your solutions and keep a healthy discussion alive. And if you are trying to prepare for your upcoming interviews and you would like to have your interview scheduled with any of the members at Geeks for Geeks, mentors at Geeks for Geeks, you can just fill up the form in the description, and we will try to schedule it on every Saturday at 10 p.m. So, because mock interviews are extremely crucial for your preparation, that would be really helpful. So, I think Gagan have joined. Yeah, Gagan, you can share your screen. There was, I guess, a small connectivity issue.
Yes.
Yeah, Rishit is also writing his approach. You all can keep a discussion in the chat box at why which approach is correct among you all. And meanwhile, let Gagan solve the question on his own.
So just tell me if the screen is visible.
Yes, yes, it's visible, and I guess I suppose the audiences are also able to properly go see.
Okay, so we have two options. Like either I can sort these pairs with respect to the start time or end time. But like what I am thinking of doing is, if I'm currently at meeting I, I'll compare the starting time of meeting I with the ending time of the previous meeting. If the current starting time is higher than the previous meeting time, that I'll able to include it. Otherwise, I won't be able to include it. So I guess sorting them with respect to the end time will be a great option. So let's try. Like if we sort the arrays, uh, because both these arrays are connected, because both these meetings are connected, so I'll have to sort both the arrays. I will sort the start array also corresponding to end array. So first meeting that will be ending is the first 1 to 2, then next meeting to end will be 3 to 4. Actually the meetings are already sorted, so let's have a dry run. Like what I'm thinking of doing is, I have the first array, first meeting 1 to 2. This meeting will be ending at time 2, unit 2, and now I have one meeting that can definitely be held into the room. Now moving to the next meeting, the starting time of this meeting is greater than the starting of time of the last meeting that I held. So this meeting can also be included. Now moving to the next meeting, the last ending time was 4, but the next starting time is 0, which means that the times are overlapping. So I think it will be better not to include this. Now moving to the next, my last element, last end time is still 4 because I haven't included this, so uh, I won't update my last end time. Now moving to the next meeting, the starting time is 5, last ending time is 4, not overlapping. So this array can be included, updating my end time to 7. Again moving to the next meeting, which is 8 to 9, the starting time is 8, which is higher than the ending time of the last meeting, which is 7, which means that this meeting can also be held. But once I get into the next meeting, this meeting cannot be held because its starting time is 5, but the ending time, last ending time is 9. So this meeting cannot be held. So there have been only 4 meetings that can be held, which is 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 7, and 8 to 9, which gives us answer 4. I guess
Okay,
this
that's
approach
great.
must work. So.
Okay, what you can do, try to implement this approach, and meanwhile, you can tell the complexity, time complexity as well, so that our audiences can know what exactly you are trying to implement.
So like I'm not sure if the arrays will be sorted in the end time, so we need to sort them. So the complexity will be n log n plus, then I'll be traversing it once, so it will be n log n plus n. So because n log n is a bigger, uh, you know, is the larger value to be taken care of. So n log n will be the complexity.
Okay, Gagan, that seems to be a fair explanation. So, Gagan, what you can do basically, I have already pasted the link of the question in the doc. So, you can try to directly code it in the IDE itself.
So where is it? Okay.
Yeah, so meanwhile, is the explanation of Gagan is correct or not? You can discuss it in the chat box. I would like to tell the audiences. So he's implementing it on screen, and what do you all say
So
then?
is the font appropriate? Just tell me.
Yes, I suppose the font is appropriate. I guess everyone can see his coding part.
Okay. Let's assume that meeting as a unit. So let's make a class which will store the starting and the ending time. Uh, let's call it a meeting. It will be having two member variables, which is one is start and one will be end. We'll use a constructor that will help us to create objects. I'll will be having two things passed to it, s and t. I'll assign s to start and t to end. Now we'll also will because it is a user-defined class, I'll have to compare it, and so I need for that I need a comparator that will manage using lambda expressions. We'll be looking at it now. Let's make a meeting array. Let's name it, meet. The size will be equivalent to uh, start dot length because the start and end both arrays have the same length, so we can take any of them. Now we'll make objects and add it to this uh, array. Now meet of I is equal to new meeting. I'll to pass start of I and end of I. Now this will create a meeting object, and we are storing it into the meet array. Now because all the objects are created, now it is time to sort, right? So let's start using the collections dot sort, in which I'll be sorting meet, but I also have to tell the compiler that on what parameter will I be sorting. So I'll tell the parameter that if I have two meetings, A and B, then just sort them on the basis of their end time as we decided. So if I be A dot end minus B dot end. Now let's see what this does is if what sort method does, right? If this value will return a negative value, this means that A is a shorter, which will A will come first. If this thing returns something a large value, a positive value, that will mean that uh, A is the larger value, so A will be kept after B. So I guess this must work. And now let's the first meeting is the I will be having first meeting, right? First meeting is uh, prone to be had. So my number of meetings, let this number of meets currently one, and the int last end time. Now last end time will be the end time of the first meeting, which will be meet dot zero dot end. Right. Now we will traverse from the first index to the next indexes, which means from I is equal to 1 to I less than n, and incrementing I by 1 every time. We will check if the starting time of current meet, which is meet dot I dot start is if it is greater than the my last end time. Because a meeting, if a meeting starts at point and the next meeting cannot, if a meeting ends at one point and the next meeting cannot start at that very point, we cannot use is equal to here. Uh, like it is given choosing meeting can be equal to the end of the time, so we cannot use equal to sign there, so we'll be using just greater than. If it is greater than, what I will do is I'll increase my uh, number of meetings that have been held until now, and I'll update my last end time. So last end time, let's use a max function just to be sure about that no error occurs. And the now it will be updated about current meetings end time, which will be, because we'll be needing it to check for the next upcoming meetings if they're possible or not. Dot end. And if in
Okay,
case
Gagan. Yeah, you can continue. It seems good.
and if in case because this is the only case we need to worry about, else we need not to update our so it will be plus plus here, so to increment. And in case it is not so, it will be a better approach not to include current meeting. In that case our number of mates will not increase, as well as the our last end time will not be updated because we are not currently using that. So at the end I'll return my number of mates. So I guess this must work fine. Let's check for any syntactical errors.
So you can compile and run your program so that to check its validity. So, question to the audience is: what do you think? Was Is this question correct? Let's see. There is a small compilation error. Meanwhile, Gagan is right fixing his errors. I would request the audiences to kindly uh, keep the interaction going on and tell me, is the approach correct?
So the error was that I was using collections, but I have made an array, so I should be using arrays dot sort rather than collections dot sort.
Yes,
I
yes.
guess
Now you can
there
submit.
should. Let's try to submit if it works. Hopefully it should work.
Yeah, this is working. That's great.
That's great.
Okay, Gagan, that's extremely great. Okay, so let's ask to our audiences. So, how do you think was Gagan's performance in this interview? So, Gagan, you can stop sharing your screen and we'll be moving to the review part of our.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So, let us first ask our audiences. Let's see what they are saying. So, we have around 32 people live with me right now, and I would request everyone to kindly like this session. So, in fact, this will motivate Gagan as well for his future endeavors and preparations. Danish is saying Maza aa gaya. Okay, and Gagan, that's great feedback from the audiences. Rafik is saying nice. Yeah. So I would request everyone to like this session and at the same time subscribe to our channel as well. And if you are preparing for your interviews and would like to have your mock interview scheduled with any of the mentors at Geeks for Geeks, we will schedule it every Saturday at 10 p.m. So I see, Gagan, that the audiences are giving great positive reviews for your interview. Naika is saying that you had great and good implementation and logical thinking. Vandana is saying good enough. Okay. So let's see, are there any more compliments for Gagan? And then meanwhile, I would be giving my review. Okay then. So, Gagan, from my
Thank you
end,
everyone
I
for
must
the
say
kind.
that yeah, so you can thank them. So, from my end, I would like to say that your interview was really smooth and it was really great. Your hold on the logical concepts were extremely great, and the way you were delivering the approach and the questions were also very smooth and fluid. Okay, so yeah, Harshit is saying that best logic building and solving solves a similar question like this train problem. Yes, there is a similar problem of this greedy approach. You will also find that at Geeks for Geeks portal. So, Gagandeep, apart from that, I don't think that there are any flaws in your interview. Uh, but it doesn't. I think that what you can do basically is that try to. In the second problem, you were trying to go in a bit of opposite direction of dynamic programming, or in fact, you were going in recursion. So I basically tried to bring it into the right track. So what you can do basically is that whenever you are given a question, you would just make sure that you are getting everything clear by asking the interviewer by asking as many questions as possible, so that you do not spend or waste time going to a wrong path, which will eventually would not be good actually. Okay, so apart from that, I don't think that there are any flaws in your interview process. Your logic were also correct, and your implementation was also good. Apart from that, your delivery, the communication skill was also great. Okay, so you can keep practicing more mock interviews if possible. And I see that if you are targeting internships for your or your placements, future placements, I hope that you will be in really good touch with your preparation. Okay, Gagan. So, Gagan, and this is for Gagan as well and for the audiences as well. You can share about this live interview session that we conduct amongst your friends as well. So, Gagan, what you can do basically is that since you just had a really great interview, and this interview would be posted on YouTube, so you can share the interview experiences with your friends at college, and in fact, you can use LinkedIn or your Facebook or Instagram and tag Geeks for Geeks and share about your interview experiences with the audiences in the internet. In that way, and let this will help the other audiences know about this amazing mock interview session, so that they can also get it scheduled. Okay, and I see there is a form pasted in the link
Definitely.
in the comment section. You can fill that out as well if you would like to have your interview scheduled. We are having this every Saturday at 10 p.m. Okay, Gagan. So, Gagan, in short, your interview was really great. You had really great compliments from the audiences. So that's great. Do you have any questions for me or to the audiences? You can shoot.
So as of now, no questions, but big thanks to the audience for their compliments, and big thanks to GFG for this opportunity. And I have to have more. I hope to have more such opportunities. And also, I'll share this with my friends, and I have shared it with some of my friends, but I'll share it with a lot more of them so that they can get benefited from this.
Yeah, that's great, Gagan. Okay, then Harshit is asking a question that is it really good to ask many questions to the interview? Actually, it is better to ask question than to waste time going in the wrong direction. Okay, because the interviewer is also judging you one criteria, how well you can understand a thing, and if you're not able to understand a thing, how well you can answer the questions, how well you can question, so that the interviewer would be like he will just try to clear them out. Okay, so this is actually a good quality, because the question because you know, in interviews the interviewer doesn't actually give you the entire problem. He will just give you the problem statement. He won't tell you about the constraints or the edge cases. You have to figure that out yourself, because that is also a whole process of giving delivering a proper logic and implementation. Okay, and this is also one of the great parameters in which the interviewer judges you. Okay, so this was for Harshit. So Gagan, yeah, and to the audiences, let's yeah, so we are reaching out to the our end of our session. So Gagan, we are really great to have you for this session. So
Thank
in
you.
case
Yeah.
if you do not have any question, you can exit our meeting. Yeah, so it was really great to host Gagan as our interview today. And as I said, the form is in the link, and if you would like to have your interview scheduled, you are very welcome. And I must say that practicing mock interviews are actually extremely helpful for your interview preparation. Yeah, that's really great positive compliments, Harshit. Thanks a lot. And yes, actually, Geeks for Geeks is really great at providing really good quality content for your exam preparation. And I remember that when I was starting with my preparation in my first year, Geeks for Geeks actually helped me quite a lot. So, yeah. So we are almost to the end of our session. And in case if no one has any questions, so we can wrap up our today's session. See you on next Saturday for this interview. And apart from that, we are also having live sessions on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, on all 5 days of the week at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. respectively. This will help you in your interview preparation and for your dynamic programming preparation as well. So see you tomorrow. See you Monday, I suppose, because Monday I will be taking another live session. Yeah. So bye bye. Have a good night.